Hello, my friends. Welcome back to another episode of the Find a Way podcast with Dusty. Hopefully you're doing well on your journey. This is I Want to Run... Back to regularly scheduled programming. This is I Want to Run Part 6. This one's quick because it'll differ, and there's not a set one because I've seen so many great ones that I'll get right into it. If you're training for a race, get a plan. There are a couple different options for that. Garmin, if you've got a Garmin watch, it's got a program set up to where you can either set up it to, I just want to do this, I just want to finish a 5K, or I want to do a 5K in this particular amount of time. They have two of those options. There's a new app that's come out recently, and you see it everywhere. It's called Runna, Runna. My experience with it so far has been good. They actually give you pinpointed workouts for what you want to complete, again, for a time or for a particular distance. Now, this is where my experience comes in. Last year, when I wanted to complete a marathon, I set out a goal of I wanted to do a sub 4-hour marathon. Now, I went with a plan that I just found online. What I found out about 3 weeks before the end was this was a plan to just complete a marathon, not to do a sub 4-hour marathon. And my training reflected just completing a marathon, not getting a sub 4. So that's where a plan is important, and getting a generic one that you find online. I would be very careful. There's a really good website. It's called Caffeine Bullet, and they have an example, a sub 4-hour marathon training plan that is actually really good, and it'll gear you towards a sub 4-hour marathon. I've seen their training versus Runna. Runna's got a marathon under 4 hours, and the workouts, what they look like. I've also seen Garmin's, and those are in line. The one that I find that wasn't in line was Nike. The Nike Run app is really geared, in my opinion, in the experience in 5 years of using it. 5 years of using it, the Nike Run app is to complete the distance, not to train for the time. Completing, I want to do a marathon. Okay, Nike Run app actually can be pretty good to just complete a distance, but there's also others like Garmin, like Runna, like the Marathon Handbook. There's a lot of them online. So one thing I would say and recommend with this I Want to Run Part 6 is whatever distance, whatever time that you want to go for, find a plan that is structured to you specifically. And if you've got a Garmin, they've got that available. If you have the subscription Runna, it's $109 for the year or $17 a month. What you can do if you want to save is you can subscribe to the free trial. Oh, I'm just thinking about now. So the free trial will let you see all the workouts, but it won't let you go into specifics after about 2 weeks. So you can't really copy and then just end it after the free trial. So depending on what your budget is and what you want to complete, I really want to do it in this time. There are plans out there that are geared specifically to your VO2 max, your heart rate, your distance runs. It's geared specifically to you. That's what you want to use. Using a generic one is not going to be the best way to go, because using a generic one to get a specific time, I'll say that, is not recommended. Using a specific one to get a particular time is what you've got to have to do. And I'm just going to kind of name them as we conclude. Garmin, it's directly through the Garmin Connect app with your Garmin watch. If you go to training, in the settings menu, it'll actually measure, okay, well, what distance do you want to go for? How many days a week do you want to run? What are you currently running? And then it'll measure your VO2 max. I've got the Forerunner 55, which is kind of the most, I think the 45 are the most economical or the cheapest ones. But I had an Apple Watch before, and it just wasn't accurate, unfortunately. Koros is a good one. I'm not sure about the Koros app and what they have available, but I'm sure if they're up to standard of Garmin, they're going to have a training plan. But specifically training for a specific time, definitely would go with Garmin or Runna. And that's going to be, it's going to give you the reassurance of getting your time, because last year when I found out 3 weeks before, I was like, no, I can complete it. But I made all the wrong moves on race day. And what's crazy is that I trained for 3 months to make the right moves. Yet on the day that I needed to make those right moves, I made the wrong ones. So I have this like vengeance on my time. Like I have this vindication. I wanted to vindicate. Oh, what is that? I want to vindicate that time that I did. So that's it. That's all, my friends. Grab a plan. Make sure you do. That'll help you be successful and find a way.